Hey guys, it's part 4, and I'm actually doing this like an hour after, not even an hour after part 3, because I'm just going to start doing stuff and stop talking. I know I talked the first 3 videos pretty much, but hopefully those who maybe even have played X before, maybe hopefully learned a couple things, but you'll know the reasons why behind what I do. Um, but let me actually show you the game, even boring parts and all. So there's the F19 or the V19, and I'm going to strip that sucker down and sell it. So what I did was I uh, docked my lat also at this station. So if I go to under the station, see it's personal navigation, my ship that I'm in, and then the station. But if I check landed
Attention!
ships
Today there
there
is a
at
sale
the
in the
station,
tool shop on level 2. Don't miss the special
there's the
offers.
lat, and I'm going to go down here to advanced, and I'm going to switch ships. So if you're at docked at the same station, you can switch ships. If you have a transporter installed on your ship, you can just transport within a certain range. And if it comes down to it, you can just eject from your ship and in your spacesuit fly into another ship if you really need to. And you do that when you claim uh, like enemy ships that you win in battle. But I'm going to go ahead and change ship. By the way, another props to the modder here. These cockpits, he made these cockpits. So when you're seeing these interactive things, like he took this and made it part of the cockpit. Um, the mini map, he made part of the cockpit. I don't know if you noticed, like on my other ship. Here I go talking again. I just said I wasn't going to be talking, but this is this another reason to really like this mod and try it out. Um, if I go not current ship station, landed ships, go back to my Z95. Um, like here's my missile readout. Here's my weapon readout on the cockpit. He's used the tools that's that's the game tools and put them into the cockpits, which is cool, by the way. Like I don't know why I didn't mention this before, but depending on the ship too,
Please remember to
these
return
are
your
these are
depleted
custom
energy
made
cells to the
cockpits
recycling
to
compound.
go with that ship. Um, but I just wanted to show that off because that's a big part of the immersion factor, and that's a big part of why I did not like X Rebirth. Um, X Rebirth when it came out was a catastrophe, but now it's actually a really good game. I don't know if you played that or tried that recently, but like I mentioned I think in the first video, EagleSoft they do stick to their games, um, and as much as it hurts to admit it, same it's kind of like Sean Murray.
Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Tell me lies, tell me lies. Oh no, no, you can't disguise. You can't disguise.
Although EagleSoft doesn't lie and mislead, but I gotta give props to Sean Murray and Hello Games for sticking with it because actually No Man's Sky I tried that recently here again and it's actually sort of the game that
We
he
would like to
described
remind visitors that
two and
dropping
a half
litter
years ago, however
anywhere
long
other
it
than
was,
an
almost 3 years
approved
ago.
recycling station
Um,
carries an automatic
but
500
anyways,
credit
EagleSoft
fine.
uh, they stuck with Rebirth. Actually, Rebirth is a good game, I think now. However, uh, one of the reasons why I didn't like Rebirth, I get off on tangents, sorry. Um, but the reason why I didn't like Rebirth was because you were stuck with the one ship. Like with X3, one of the things that made it great is doesn't matter if it's a scouting small light fighter or if it's a freaking huge capital ship that can hold 60 fighters, you can fly it. You can be in there. Um, it's makes the immersion factor so much better. And anyways, with this mod, he's made these custom cockpits, and it just makes things so much better. So I think it's just the immersion factor is greatly increased by the work the modders did with that. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to shut up. Gotta shut up. Change ship, and I am going to strip down. I do landed ships. Select the B-19, advanced, and freight exchange. Then I can go with the B-19 is on the left. So I can strip down those
5
shields.
megajoule shield transferred.
That software the other one already has. That software the other one already has. Yeah, that's basic software. It doesn't have anything extra anyway. Didn't have much on there. Alright, so now I can just go ahead, trade,
Please.
and sell that ship. 251,000 it said. It said like almost 400,000, but maybe it was the buy price. Maybe it's different.
Sold.
So anyways, I got that sold. So I have got 1.9 million right now, which is not a lot at all. But that will help me increase my trading profits because I could buy more. I'm going to upgrade. Yeah, I'm going to change to the Z95, and I am going to tell my lat to dock at the equipment dock.
Docking granted.
And
Command accepted.
I am going to dock at the equipment dock.
Docking granted.
One thing. Oh, yeah.
Activated.
See this right here? I forgot. Ooh, wow. Close call. Sorry about the paint job there, dude. That's one thing I forgot to mention out of the 2 hours I've been talking with these videos is don't autopilot from a docked position. The AI, as you saw there, instead of moving to the right position, so I'm actually in this track inside that, it hits the gas too quick or the thrust too quick, and so it moves forward and it will hit parked ships, and you don't want to do that because you don't want to damage your own ship, but you also don't want to lose reputation with whoever race that ship is. Yeah. So anyways, what I do is I manually undock once I get out of that track of lights. Then I autopilot, and because it won't crash into a parked ship. Anyways, that's a good thing I did that, just to show you what not to do, and the reason why. Show you why to not do it. But I'm going to the equipment dock here because the equipment docks, they've got the equipment now. Just in general, really, with any kind of trading station, military outpost, shipyard, or equipment dock, what each race's type, or out of each one of those types, each races of that type will hold different things, but it's done by race, just so you know. So if you're trying to look for something certain, like certain, I don't know, let's say looking for a triplex scanner. Duplex scanners are all over the place. Triplex scanners are the best for ships, and but they're only sold at a certain race's stations. So that's like race, specific. So just to keep that in mind. So when you're searching for something, again, if you are searching for something using this encyclopedia, now that I've been around a little bit, it's more useful. Because if I go, not Montgomery, let me do the M3, let me do the ARC. I think, see, yeah, like, because I've been to the stations. It will keep that in the encyclopedia. So if I want to try to find that ARC 170, I think I called it a 190 or before, but yeah, ARC 170, the old Clone Wars fighter. If I wanted to find it, I won't have to search like manually at each station or shipyard I come across. Even on the galaxy map, I can just come right here and it will tell me exactly where I can get that ship from, where I know where I've been to these places before. So, but it saves that information in the encyclopedia. But it's very helpful if I want to look back and try to find something. So I know exactly where to get that ship, or not just ship, but
All ex-military
whatever
personnel, please
your
report to Med
uh,
Bay 6 for bioweapons clearance.
bioweapons clearance. Oh yeah. Um, your equipment or upgrades or whatever you're trying to look for, certain guns, missiles, shields, size shields, because that's another thing. Size shields, they are also race specific. Most things are race specific when it comes to equipment for your ships or ships themselves. So just keep that in mind when you're looking for stuff. That encyclopedia can really help you out. So what I want to do right now is I'm at the equipment dock. Now, when I was talking about relations, I've mentioned it many
This
times
weapon
so
is
far,
unique in that
but this is why it's important, because right now I'm a Mandalorian comrade. That's my status. I've worked up to that status. But for instance, to be able to buy those KX9s that I can load out
a
on my
weapon
ships,
found in some medium and
I
large
have
fighters,
to be a
designed for M3
distinguished,
fighters to be lighter and faster than high-energy
whatever that
plasma
A
throwers,
standing for,
and also serving as a
distinguished
heavier
something.
weapon for M4s. The
Um,
phased repeater
so I have to
gun
get to that
fires in
rank
quick bursts
or
of
that
3
relationship
rounds
level
and is ideal for taking out fast
before
and
I have
artillery enemy
clearance to
fighters.
buy that from the Mandalorians. And when I mentioned before how the items for ships and ships themselves are usually they're really kind of race specific. Same thing with upgrades like software, some software things. Um, if you're locked out, say I need 25 megajoule shields, the only place to get 25 megajoule shields is from a Mandalorian shipyard or equipment dock. Then I'm kind of screwed unless I have a high
The
enough
restaurant is now open for
relationship
anyone
with the
wishing to dine
Mandalorians
before
to have
departing the
clearance
station.
to buy that. And it's the same thing for the ships. If I go, I should have done it when I was at the shipyard, but it would show you anything in red, and you can always click on it, and it will tell you what level you need. So if you just go on the internet, you can look at the different levels, um, so you can see how far away you are from it. But when you're talking about, like when I was talking about the M1, the classes of ships, M1 and M2s, the carriers and the destroyers, battleships, um, those suckers you need a high clearance, obviously, to be able to buy those. And so again, you can raise your reputation by doing missions, which I mentioned before. I personally don't like doing missions. You can just randomly kill like a pirate or the a xenon. There's a race called the xenon. There's a race called the cock. Yes, it is pronounced cock. It's like Koch, something like that. But these are alien races that have no relationship with humanoids, and they just are exterminators. Those type of alien races. Um, and so the pirates and those two races, which are always hostile to all the races, if you see them in a sector and you fight them and you blow them up, if you get that last shot in that actually kills them, you get credit for the kill. And you'll get a positive increase in the relationship with the race of that sector. So you can do it that way through fighting. And then, of course, you can always do it with trades. With every trade, whatever race that station is a part of,
Attention!
that
Today there is a
race's
sale in the toy shop on
reputation, your
level
reputation with
6.
that race will go
Don't
up
miss the
in a
special
positive
offers.
way. Um, so that's the way you build up those relationships. And again, it is so important because, like right now, I can't buy a freight scanner. If I want to scan what's on ships, if I want to, try to be a pirate,
Pilots whose
I
spaceships are
will
equipped with
have a
freight
freight
scanner
scanner, and
or
I could
see exactly what is
know.
inside other ships they
Well,
scan.
you can hear her talk.
Oftentimes, this scanner is abused by pirates before they attack and rob peaceful pilots.
So that's exactly what it's for. And so to see what's on the ship before you start attacking it, to see if it's worth attacking it or not. Yeah, that's usually, that's why usually I don't even really care about it myself, but because I never really do a pirate type of playthrough. Um, I'm just more about kind of like
The mineral scanner
legit
is an
or
important
legal, what as much
add-on
legal
for
as
every
possible,
pilot who plans to exploit
upfront
asteroids
type
for
of
mining.
corporation
Mounted
or
to a
or
spaceship, it
empire.
adds valuable
Um,
information to the scan results of
with
asteroids.
pride, not like not have to hide out. Um, anyways, so that's the relation where the relationship comes into play. Now, luckily, I just need these upgrades for your cargo bay, your engine speed, and your turning
This service is a
radius. For this one
this
is
service is a
for
time-limited
my
special available.
Z95.
This
That's
service is a
okay. So this is
time-limited
going to
special
cost me
available only now.
16,500
Specialists in rudder
to
control,
fully
rudder
upgrade that.
optimization installed.
That's going to cost.
This service is
That's not
engine
much at all.
tuning
Cargo
installed.
bay though, that's where it can get expensive. This
Your
is for my
cargo bay
fighter,
will be
and
extended
it's
by a
it's
certain amount of
50,000.
cargo bay
But at
extension
least those are all
installed.
upgraded. I'm going to upgrade
This
boost extension.
boost extension
That kind of just gives
installed.
you it's kind of like nitrous for a car or something like that. Just it gives you a boost. It's kind of like just a boost for a limited amount of time.
Carrier command software was originally developed.
Carrier command software, I believe you need that if you are trying to order other ships around. Um, really, with the software, if you look 3,000, 4,000, 2,500. Besides like the mineral scanner, which that's pretty
The
specific. That's
mineral
if you want
scanner is
to
an important add-on
mine
for every
or build
pilot who plans
a
to exploit
mining station.
asteroids for mining.
You can use
Mounted
that
to a
mineral
spaceship,
scanner,
it adds
and
valuable information
when
to
you
the
look
scan.
on the maps and you see like these asteroids, these asteroid icons, these are big enough asteroids to actually have a mining station on. But if you notice, it doesn't tell you how rich of an asteroid it is and what type of ores it has, like silicon or ore, or there's Nevidium. There's also ice asteroids. Um, oops. But with that mining scanner, you can scan it and it will tell you, so you know before you start building a mining factory, if it's going to be profitable or not. Um, so the mineral scanner, the freight scanner, spacefly collector, that's something that's very unique to this race.
Although
Is
spacefly
space
collecting is
flies?
illegal, the flies have become the most costly commodity in the
I
universe. The
think
small creatures are lured by
split.
the high resonance wave of the device into the ship's hold.
It's either split or Talati. Maybe it's Talati. One of the races actually eat them, and so the space flies are not illegal there. But in all the other races, capturing space flies is illegal. It's kind of cool too. They kind of look like little colors flying. They look like flies in space. Um, but they are mainly kind of like colors. You'll notice them by a swarm of colors moving around, and you can collect them. You can sell them to that race that eats them. They're pretty profitable, but if you get caught with them on board your ship in any other race's space, it's bad, bad, bad on relations, and you have to drop them. It's been a while since I've been caught with something illegal. I think if you drop it in a certain amount of time, it's okay. They'll let you go with a warning, but you still lose reputation. If you don't drop them within time, or you try to run or whatever, you get caught, you can get blown up. Basically, they'll call in the military ships. So, anyways, I don't mess with the space flies, but that's something. That's what that is. But these other ones, I usually always put on all my ships because they're not very expensive, and if you don't have a certain software and you want to do something, maybe it's just a unique situation. You want to have a fighter go patrol a sector, or maybe like Omicron Lyre, where there's a lot of ships blowing up, there's a lot of loot. You can have like a fighter, or like either you want a fast ship to move fast, or you want a big cargo like transport ship to carry a lot. To go
Attention.
around and
Today there
basically
is a
just pick up
sale
all
in
the
the
pieces,
fashion shop on level
collect all the
3.
wares that are
Don't
just
miss the
floating in
special
space.
offers.
But to do those certain things, you need the right software, and so I usually buy all the software unless I'm not going to need it, like the freight scanner, mineral scanner, space flight collector, and I think there's usually something else too I don't get, but they're not offering it here. So I'm just going to make sure I've got all
Carrier
these,
Command Duplex Scanner installed. Navigation Patrol Command
because
software in Special
if I'm going
Commands
to need to know contents of an asteroid, I'll actually just go ahead and do it, because it's not like I have to do it all the
installed.
time.
The
It's something I'm
Mineral
going to plan,
Scanner
because I'm
is
going
an
to plan on
important add-on
building
for
a
every
mining
pilot
station.
who plans to
So
explore
that's kind of
asteroids for mining.
specific. And again, Freight Skater, I never care what's on another ship, because I don't randomly attack ships because I don't want to lose reputation with races. So I got all the software I need from there. Yeah, I don't want the space flight collector. And I got all the upgrades as far as the cargo bay, engine, and your rudder returning. So I'm good there, because I can't buy the 9s. I can't buy those TX or those KX
A
9s.
weapon.
There's also KX 10s that are mentioned,
Your
but
notoriety is too low.
I don't know.
Trade
Maybe
restrictions are
maybe
in
it's
effect.
going to be different,
This boost
like with this
extension
game,
allows
this
your ship
playthrough.
to
But I
accelerate
couldn't
with
find
3
anywhere
times
that
its normal
sold the
acceleration.
KX
This
10s.
extension
That's
is
why one
essential
of the
in
first videos,
some
something like that, I
combat
said, when I was talking
situations.
about the weapon layout, what was available on a ship, I said not the 10s, because I couldn't find the 10s at all. I remember the first time I played this. So I don't know if maybe the station,
Attention.
there was only one or
Security.
two
We
that
got
actually built them and they got
3
blown up,
more on
or
level
what. That's another
7
thing
in the
too, because I mean,
bar.
you can blow up stations. It takes a long time, and of course that race's military is going to respond as much best as it can, but you can destroy stations, and the NPCs, like the races, different races at war, whatever, they can destroy stations. And if it's a station that there's not very many in the galaxy, and it gets destroyed, you're just pretty much SOL. Because I remember it happened with the astromech droids, like, because with this mod you can get astromech droids for like your X-wing, and it gives you a boost, it improves your stats on your ship, which is a great idea. That's a cool thing what the modder did. But the manufacturing stations for those are very limited. I think there's only like 2. I remember there was only 1 or 2 in the whole galaxy. So if for some reason there's a big battle in that sector, and that station gets blown up, you're SOL, because you can't buy that factory. You can't buy a factory for the astromech droid, so you can't replace those. Same thing with those KX10s. Shoot. Well, I was going to actually
Attention.
do stuff
Today
this
there is a
game,
sale in
or
the
this
fashion shop on level
this
5.
part.
Don't miss the
It just seems
special
like there's things
offers.
that branch off to other things, and I don't want to leave anything out. because hopefully, especially if you've made it this far through the videos, then obviously you want to learn or you're finding it interesting. So that's good. Um, but I've probably talked so much that the 5 people who are going to be watching this playthrough, they're being gone anyway. So, anyways, I'm going to record a video after this, and I'm not going to talk. And if there's something that I'm doing that you don't understand why I'm doing it, too bad. I'm just going to start doing stuff. Okay. So, all right. Thanks.